Namaskar Mitro and welcome to Broker Ki Paathshala Season 2. One more Friday, one more blockbuster, and this time it is coming live from Mumbai. Yes, you heard it right, the city of dream and one of the finest economic city of India. And we will be having our conversation with very dashing and dynamic leader from real estate industry, Mr. Vipul Shah. And to know more about that, before that, as we all do every time, let us start with the prayer. I want all of you to please join me in this small prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwarai, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sarvepi Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukhma Pyuma. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahe, तेजस्वी नावदितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Thank you friends and welcome back to Broker Ki Paathshala Season 2, and we are having Session 4, and I am extremely happy on behalf of each one of you. I want to welcome my dear friend Vipul Shah. Please give a big round of applause to Vipul Shah. He is the managing partner from Reflex Realty LLP, second generation realtor, and we are going to learn more about him while I start interacting with him. He is somebody who is definitely going to inspire and motivate all of you, especially to the next generation. He is coming from a background where the entire family is coming from a great education background, and still many a time people ask, why one should require education to become a real estate agent or a broker or a realtor. But I think I'm sure this session is going to largely inspire and motivate a lot of brokers across the India. And before I jump into interaction with Vipul, I want to acknowledge few people who are actually extremely very, very inspiring and motivating for me since I started Broker Ki Paathshala. And these are the people every week, whenever I send message or mail about the session, these are the people who always acknowledge and say thumbs up and great. These are small things, but these gestures actually motivate me to continue doing this kind of program and Broker Ki Paathshala. So I think I want to. It is very important to acknowledge these people because of whom I am getting a lot of motivation. I want to acknowledge Rohit Vora from Area Group Mumbai. Mr. Sunil Dankani, he is from Bhopal. Mr. Pankaj Singh is from Ranchi. Mr. Avinash Khattar, he is the chairman of the Real Estate King. He is somebody who always inspire and motivate me every session. Mr. Raju Achpalia from Area Group. Our founder president of Area Group, Bajubhai Makwana, who is always there and support me. Every session he is there and he is always encouraging and inspiring me. And Mr. Ali Murtuja from the Real Estate King. I think these 8 people are those people since I started Broker Ki Paathshala. Every session they have acknowledged and they have motivated me. So thank you all for your great motivation and inspiration. Friends, when we talk about Mumbai, Mumbai is the leader in real estate. And post-lockdown, there are few changes Municipal Corporation, Greater Mumbai have brought, to make a market little more real estate. And it was a 2% stamp duty, so they cut 3% stamp duty before 31st December. And now it is 3% stamp duty up to 31st March. I think this has really generated a huge traction, and there are a lot of transactions which has happened in last 4 months in ready possession property especially. And now slowly ready stock is getting dissolved, and people are now buying projects where there are very close timing possession. And another good thing came from Municipal Corporation is the premiums, which was very high compared to other city in India. They have given 50% reduction to premium till December 2021. I'm sure this is going to make a huge difference to get back to its original style of real estate in Mumbai. And what kind of effect going to happen to this kind of changes in real estate? I think we are having a great speaker today. Vipul is, as I said, second generation real estate consultant. His father started almost 45 years back in Mumbai, and his two brother also have supported him in this venture. So we are going to have a peep in journey of Vipul and this his family of business, and I'm sure you will get some ups and downs and challenges and a lot of new things. And what I love about Vipul is uh, he's somebody who is aspired to adopt the change with open arm. He's somebody who will go first and connect with the change. He is not somebody who will wait for the entire world to get change and then go there. I know Vipul for almost last 20 years from different perspective. Being a Rotarian, I got connected first, and then to Smart, and then to NIR India. So welcome, Vipul bhai. Thank you very much for your kind consent to be this on this forum and share your personal story with our viewers.
Thank you very much, Vinod bhai. It's been a pleasure. And let me first congratulate you and the entire Square Feet team for initiating this fantastic kind of a venture where you are not only discussing one-on-one, but you are actually interacting and helping the entire community and fraternity to grow, learn, and succeed together. So I think it's a fantastic initiative. Lots of congratulations to each one of you.
Thank you, Vipul bhai. And dear friends, while we start interaction with Vipul Shah, if you have any question, please put it on the chat box. Once we can complete the interaction, I'll take those later on. And I'm sure many of you are knowing Vipul Shah, but I guarantee you, today you will see some different things which you had never known from Mr. Vipul Shah. And first Google is coming. Vipul bhai, where are you born from? Are you from Mumbai?
I am born in Calcutta.
Wow. So this is...
But you can practically say I'm a Mumbai boy, but then I was just been born in Calcutta, which many of people might not be knowing. My mother in-laws were, mother side was from Calcutta. So that's the reason I was born there. But ultimately post that, I've always been in Mumbai as such.
Great. So tell me about your schools and, childhood. What kind of person you were, and which schools and college you went through?
So mine is a very interesting story where we started off as a joint family. Like my father and my two uncles, we were all joint family staying in suburbs of central suburbs of Mumbai called Ghatkopar. Yeah. And I had initial days of a great joint family there, which we were around 12 cousins staying together.
Oh.
And we had a great time growing up together and learning together. But I was still very, very small when I was shifted from there to here in South Mumbai. So my schooling, I shifted from there to here in 4th standard itself.
Okay.
And here in 4th standard, basically the biggest challenge was during those days, the schooling at that central suburb school was completely in vernacular language. Yeah. And then when I shifted to South Mumbai, entire language changed to English medium. So it was very challenging for me to even understand ABCD of English. Yeah. At the same time, basically all subjects in English. So it was challenging time, but I took on the challenge, and basically people helped me out to get into that. And I'm really happy that I did that change, and that has helped me a lot in life. And schooling was from fellowship school here in Gowalia time.
Yeah.
So from that time onwards, we have always been into South Mumbai. This is like a home turf, and we are very comfortable seeing around. Fortunately, you will not believe that most of my morning walks happens in the area of Altamont Road and Carmichael Road.
Wow.
Which is probably the most expensive area of India, where you have Ambani's, Tatas, and Birlas, and whatever name you say, everybody is there. And I personally love South Mumbai. I have lots of social circle, friends, family somewhere, or lots of people around here. And during the my school days, I used to always try to love to do something different. So in the school days also, I used to take leadership roles where I was part of the something called a captain's group. I was the entire school second best captain in
Wow.
my school days time. I was also very active in NCC. I
Excellent.
used to love to go to the government camps where lots of this actual tent were being set, and you actually live kind of a military life during those number of days.
Excellent.
So you really feel how soldiers live their life, and it's astonishing. And I really salute the soldiers of India for bearing that kind of life, choosing that type of life voluntarily, and serving the nation. It's really commendable. Um, Rifle shooting was one of my interesting hobby during my school days time. So always when there used to be anything related to rifle shooting, I used to be very active in that. And probably I've fortunately won first position for rifle shooting during those
Wow.
days too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, during your school time, have you ever thought that one day you will become a realtor, broker, real estate broker?
So I have not specifically thought about realtor as such, but I have always been born and brought up surrounding the real estate business as such. My father started the business almost, as I said, 45 to 46 years back.
Yeah.
And during those times, we really had a very interesting kind of a journey where father really used to work hard from morning till evening, and his focus was totally on business kind of thing. And fortunately, because of that, we were able to establish something which is very different, very new kind of a thing. Just to share few examples, like you might not be even aware, most of the people, like my father was one of the most initial first persons pioneer in starting a concept of a kind of a soul selling agency or exclusive mandate in Mumbai,
Oh,
where
wow.
he actually educated the developers that you need to focus purely on development, and sales and marketing job is a very specialized job, and you need to outsource this job. And if you are able to outsource that job, you can concentrate more on development, and you can have a better customer relationship, you can have a better brand building, you can have a more ease of planning, and focusing on the delivery part rather than just the sales part as such. So somehow it worked out. People are now actually excited about exclusive mandates and soul selling agents and all that stuff. But I think this is not a new kind of a happening. It's actually happening 45, 50, 46 years back.
Wow.
He had that idea of why not focus on something where you are just purely in sales and marketing as such. So
So,
obviously there used to be sales and marketing all combined together. There's
yes,
never used to be a segregation of the marketing and sales as such.
correct. So it is like मैं हमेशा एक कंपैरिजन करता हूँ and I feel proud to compare this profession like a doctor for example. मुझे मालूम है जब हम छोटे थे तो एक ही डॉक्टर रहता था फैमिली डॉक्टर. अब आपको कान का प्रॉब्लम है, नाक का प्रॉब्लम है, दांत का प्रॉब्लम है, वही एमबीबीएस जो रहता था फिजिशियन वही आपको सब दवाई देता था. एंड नाउ व्हेन वी सी द वर्ल्ड टुडे, अगर आपके आंख का भी डॉक्टर है तो उसमें भी देयर आर डिफरेंट वर्टिकल फॉर आईज आल्सो. So that is where I think our business is also changed, over the years. There are more specification coming in the business. So, which are the developers your father used to work in? Which location majority he has done transaction?
So basically, if you all remember 40 years back or 30 years back, it used to be a very specific community kind of dominated kind of real estate development. Mainly the entire development was being handled by Marwari communities
Yes.
and some Gujarati community. But then those were the developers who had, because earlier the real estate development was not so easy job.
Yeah.
To get that kind of permissions, and it was in fact more like a seller's market rather than a buyer's market,
Absolutely.
where you used to get a very limited number of kind of
Okay.
permissions to build certain buildings and then to sell it. So all this hats off to all these Marwari communities to taking that risk and developing Mumbai. Basically foundation is laid from there. And then there is more professionalization coming into there. Now corporates are also entering, and institutional players are also entering in the real estate field as such. But those days, basically, it used to be some kind of development plan they used to put for years and years, and they used to get permissions after so many years, and then they used to do the development as such. And I remember very interesting time when I used to go for opening of a or a bhumi pujan of a
Yes.
property,
पे
where
बहुत बड़ा event होता था.
you'll be surprised to know that real estate bhumi pujan those days were very very different, where you need to have puja, and there used to be something like a counter for sale,
Correct.
where register used to be kept, and 3-4 line there used to be a queue of buyers
Yes.
queuing up for buying the property, right? It's practically queue. I have experienced the queue, and people used to just go through the sale chart, booking chart, and then you used to mark that this is the apartment I want to buy, this is the apartment I want to buy, this is the token. Something like you are buying a grocery in a grocery shop. That's how the scenario was there in real estate, which is actually very astonishing if you see in current time. But that was the time when people used to buy purely on reputation of the people handling it, purely on the reputation of the developer, and more so ever purely on the reputation of the people booking it.
True.
Like sales guy or the brokers were so important there those days, because they want complete business was on reputation. So अगर आपका reputation अच्छा है तो आपको कोई पूछता भी नहीं था. Means आपको जिस directly आके बोल देते आपका booking कर लेते. I remember time when people used to give money, and we were like a portfolio manager.
Yes.
Say that this is the money to be invested.
Correct.
You decide where you want to invest, how you want to invest, and how you want to exit also.
Correct.
So we never used to even call up people where कि भाई अभी ये price आ रही है, बेचूं या नहीं बेचूं. We used to sell as we feel that this is the right customer, this is the right price. We used to exit. My father always used to say that बोलते थे ना गुजराती में बेच दो वाणिया. Whoever is seller is a real developer. Whoever is holding the stock is an investor.
Correct.
So that's a major differentiation when you want to analyze whether the developer is a genuine developer or is a different kind of developer. Is if the developer is doing his sale, who is pushing his sales, that's a real genuine developer. Absolutely. Developer is holding to the stock, thinking that there's going to be a price rise. He's become an investor.
True.
My father always used to differentiate between both of them. That चलो hold करके रखा तो ये investor बन गया, ये developer नहीं है.
Excellent. This is a very good thought. Excellent. I think, and that those days, I think 40 years back, there were more cash money in real estate. So there also it was a fear that whom to give. So there, I think role of broker was very very prominent those days. So do you remember what kind of price 40 years back in South Mumbai? If you are getting.
So I believe it was really like in hundreds, 80, 100, 200, 300, those kind of figures, which was there. I believe that I remember a price of 161 or 165 rupees in a South Mumbai apartment. Even in Walkeshwar, something like 351 or 400 rupees a square feet. In fact, for your information, Walkeshwar and Nepean Road and those areas were not a preferred area for people to buy. So it became preferred area only after that once people started developing more and more, it used to, otherwise it was supposed to be a more secluded area.
Correct.
Right.
Security.
Yeah. So its complete scenario has changed, and it's all about real estate is all about location and how the gentry comes in that location and the development happens in that location. That makes a difference actually.
True. So I think being in school and you were surrounded by this kind of interaction and thoughts and visuals, which has actually imbibed a lot of real estate in you, I think. Even though, and then where did you go for college? I mean, what you did?
So, fortunately, after my schooling, I got an admission for, interestingly, those days, there were only 3 choices: commerce, science, and arts.
Yes.
You have to put one finger out of this three finger, and then you select this kind of field. So, fortunately, I got an admission in Jain College. So I did my commerce graduation from Jain College, and post that Jain College commerce graduate, the college going was also great because our office was at Kalagoda, which is at Fort near the stock exchange. If you people are not able to recollect the location, and my college was at Churchgate.
Okay.
What I used to do is early morning, go to the college, enjoy the college life. And by 11:30 from college, you go to the office. Although I was not working full time or very active in office, I always love to go to the college office just to understand what is happening. And and the idea was कि भाई end of the day वापस वहाँ नाश्ता करना है, मजा करना है, गप्पे मारना है, चलो एटलीस्ट वहाँ जाके देखते तो है क्या होता है.
True.
So that is how the start of inculcating that real estate background, understanding and how people were doing business those days. No computers, nothing, just on the register. Everything was being done as such. So that was very interesting time during the college days. And then I got interested in studying further. So that's how I decided to do my management. So that's how I shifted from commerce to doing my MBA with finance.
Wow.
And fortunately, there also I took a risk going into institute where it was the first year of the institute, where it's called ITM, which is like a combination of Indian curriculum of MBA with the US curriculum of MBA. So it was a fusion course between India and USA. So some modules were from MBA USA and some modules were from Indian institute, kind of, you can say IIM kind of a course material.
True.
And that worked out quite well. Actually, that actually developed lots of adaptability, lots of understanding, lots of kind of communication skills, lots of team building things, and lots of things have been learned during my management days.
Excellent.
By practically solving because we also had teething trouble, because being a first year of the institute, there always used to be some kind of issues which we need to resolve.
True.
So we were instrumental in actually solving some problems of the institute also. So that's how practical learning was also there besides that theoretical learning.
So in your family, you have three brothers, correct?
Yes.
So one is elder to you.
So I am the sandwich one, which is the middle one. I have elder brother called Rakesh.
Yeah.
Rakesh Shah, and my younger brother Manish Shah.
So elder brother first joined your father?
What?
Rakesh bhai joined your father
Yeah.
first?
So Rakesh bhai joined, interestingly, Rakesh bhai was supposed to go to USA he's finished his 12th in science, and then he was supposed to go to USA. He had already applied to USA. He's already got admission in multiple university. But unfortunately, my mother was diagnosed with cancer those times.
Oh.
In the year 1991. And those days, the family values were giving priority to family much, much higher than the education.
Very true.
And that's how we decided not to go till my mother gets kind of a better or treatment supposed to need it. So he joined the father business, and he was here itself. And then after my elder brother, in fact, my younger brother joined my father earlier than me.
Oh.
I was pursuing my MBA. So he finished his graduation and he immediately joined my father's business as such.
His name is Manish.
His name is Manish.
Okay.
Unfortunately, what happened is my mother, since she was diagnosed with cancer, we had to take her throughout. I, along with my father, had an opportunity to be with her for almost 6 months out of India for a treatment, as well as kind of a journey where we wanted to spend quality time with her, because doctor had said that you are only left with 6 months kind of a time in 1991.
Okay.
But purely because of her kind of a positivity and kind of religious nature, she survived for almost 4 years.
Wow, fantastic.
Right? And that's how the great value we got from our mother, that be positive in life, be whatever may be the state. Mother always used to say that nobody's going to change your future.
True.
So you are present in your control. Why not control the present than thinking about the future?
Excellent.
So even at the last day of her bed, she was very positive. So that's what the best learning we got from our parents, that be positive, be helpful to other people, and think positive about other people also. So that's how my elder brother joined business, my younger brother joined the business, and I was actually, my mother expired in June 1995.
Hmm.
And post that, I had also finished my MBA. Means I, after doing my MBA, I did my master's in international trade from World Trade Center,
Yeah.
right? And then I started. Fortunately, I started my own export business.
Wow. So this
Right?
before you joined real estate.
Yeah, before I joined the real estate, because I was of a thought that since I've done my graduation, I've done my post graduation, my interest, I specialize in finance. I'd also done my export management. So I thought that might as well try for some new business because family is already there. Two brothers are already there in this business. Might
Correct.
as well try some new business. And that's how I entered into international trade. And I did a tremendous survey, surveying out what are the kind of products I should go get into export.
Ah.
And ultimately, I landed off with handicrafts exports.
Oh.
I started exports of arts and crafts, and I participated in an international trade fair directly to start off my career
Wow.
in Las Vegas. And you will not believe, in Las Vegas, I was the only Asian and I was the only Indian to participate in that exhibition,
Wow.
right? And fortunately, I could get the great value appreciation. But during that time itself, my father had an heart attack here. So I
Oh.
had to rush back from finishing that exhibition to home back. And within 1 month's time, my father got a second heart attack and he was expired. So 1995 was a very life-changing year for us, where my mother expired in June 95, father expired in December 1995. And the eldest one in the family was as old as 24 years or 25 years.
Oh.
I was like 22 years that time,
Good.
and my brother was 24 years. So it was a very challenging time. But we three brothers, with the kind of blessings of God and family, mother and father, we were survived, and we in fact came out much stronger. And we took a kind of a decision that time that मदर फादर होते हैं तभी भी बच्चे अलग हो जाते हैं,
Good.
बट जब भी मदर फादर नहीं है हम लोग साथ में रहेंगे.
Excellent.
That's how, despite mother father not being there, we are a joint family system, and fortunately, even after 25 years, we are still a joint family.
Excellent. Excellent. I think this is where the strength comes. This is where the strength comes, and because of the value in which you all three have brought up, I think that has really made a huge difference in your personal life and professional life. I think that
It's
is
helped a lot. Actually, it's all about being to basics, being a basics of human nature. If you really
true.
believe in human nature, what God has given you, and utilize those qualities, I don't think there is any other success formula.
Excellent. Excellent. Amazing, Vipul bhai. So from 96 onwards, your journey started in real estate.
Yes, yes.
Correct. So do you remember anything about your first transaction?
In fact, you will not believe, my first income transaction was very different. It was
Yeah.
not in real estate. When I was doing my college studies, I was being placed as an intern in DSP. Those days, there was only DAS Prabhudas and Company,
Correct.
which was converted to DSP Merrill Lynch kind of a thing afterwards.
Yeah.
So that day, those days, I was actually doing my thesis on primary markets, new issues kind of a thing. And suddenly there was one, I could not name the company right now,
Correct.
but suddenly there was an issue related to some mutual fund which was supposed to be listed.
Hmm.
And I started my first income by short selling the shares rather than buying the share and selling the share. And fortunately, that transaction returned me so much that my sizable part of my fees was covered itself
Correct.
during those times as such.
But I personally feel money spoils us, and at that age particularly. But I think because of the kind of environment you grown up and the kind of value system you inculcated in you, I think you were there on earth. The money never went into your head.
So I think there is nothing like accounting kind of thing within the family. Whatever comes is of family, whatever goes out is of family. So we used to have that system where even if I earn or whoever earns, just goes into family kitty, nothing else.
Excellent.
Not to even think about this is I have done or they have done or this has done. And
Very
fortunately, that's being the case till now also.
true. Excellent. I think it's a very simple way of living happy life, But people don't understand this very simple thing. कि सबको ऐसा ही लगता है कि मेरी वजह से हो रहा है, हालांकि बहुत सारे लोग इसके अंदर कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं और किसकी वजह से वो कोई आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाता. But
Yeah.
that is where the different lies. I think it's a very very good thought, Vipul. So, so what was the first real estate transaction you did?
So I did a first real estate transaction, fortunately with a equity player itself. So I had a space for since we were based in near stock exchange. We had lots of these customers based from stock exchange and advocates and all that stuff, being in Fountain area. So my first transaction was something to do with I leased out a space to those days used to be Carvi consultants.
Yes, Carvi.
So they were looking out for space, and we were fortunate to get them space and get them space at an absolute value deal than what they would have thought about getting that space as such. And they were very happy because it was just like a walking distance from stock exchange.
True.
And although it was a showroom, we got the place at like a office space rentals.
Excellent.
It was like a ground floor office space along with a great signage. Right. So this is like a dream kind of office for any stockbroker or any kind of a registry agent where some kind of branding is also happening those days. So that was a very interesting transaction and worked out as a great experience.
What kind of brokerage you earned in that first transaction?
So probably, I think around 4 lakhs or so.
Wow.
In those days, 4 lakhs was a big amount.
Absolutely. I mean,
representing both the sides, in fact, that was a transaction where we were representing both the sides.
Excellent. Actually, earlier it was both sides, Slowly we are copying the US market and, people are, but there is huge different in today's time also. We say, this primary market brokerage is almost gone, But that is not correct way of doing business if you are representing customer,
Yes.
Anyway, but so what was the first thing you, what was the first change you brought in your company compared to how your father was doing the business?
Basically, we had observed our father working hard and purely focused on agency business, where we used to take an exclusive mandate soul selling agency of the projects. So we are purely into primary markets. And since we had shifted to South Mumbai, I thought, and after doing my management and taking all the fundamentals of other things which I had learned about, I thought that there is a great opportunity to enter into retail market.
Excellent.
So we entered into a kind of a secondary market where we initiated something related to South Mumbai transactions, purchase, sale, lease kind of thing. Those were the first days where we were actually shifting from primary market to secondary market. I think most of the people are doing secondary market and shifting to primary market. But then we had done reverse, where we had, I thought that there was a great opportunity to work in the secondary market. And that's how the secondary market division was being set up.
But then Vipul, compared to today's world, I think those 96, 97, I don't think there were many projects, new under construction projects coming up in South Mumbai. I think you have limited developers and limited inventory in terms of new project. So I think resale was the main business for all the brokers in those days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So South Mumbai, we have two segments. One is South Mumbai primary and secondary market. And then when we used to take mandates, most of the projects were out of South Mumbai. We used to take projects in central suburbs of Mumbai, central Mumbai, and western side also. So that's how we have divided our business those days itself, that when we are going for exclusive mandates and marketing of projects, we are taking even suburbs project. But when we are entering South Mumbai, we are taking primary as well as secondary market, as well as investment, all kind of services within South Mumbai. Because we think that you would, in the secondary market, you actually need handholding. You actually need to serve the customers very well and justify those kind of services. But in projects, also you need a very good services, but that is a very specialized service and a specialized people in that location. So product is limited. Here products are dynamic and customers are also dynamic.
So what kind of marketing activity you were doing those time? I think 96 was quite early as far as the computer and internet is concerned. So, what were the what kind of activity you were doing to resource the property also and sell it to generate the leads?
So Vinod bhai, surprisingly, those days most of the leads used to come from references,
Yes. So your
and
father's business,
yeah,
earlier customer, all those projects which you sold.
yeah.
So did you have that time some system of data storing registers?
It
How
used to be, yeah,
father was doing it?
it used to be physical, and in fact, when I started the business, I made it digital. In
Correct.
fact, those days I installed multiple computers in the office, and my family used to say that, "What are you doing? You're just, you're just actually why are you making this thing so much complex?
Ah,
अपना simple register है, simple है, इधर से बात करो, खत्म करो."
correct.
I was very much insisting on that. That let's computerize, let's make it automated, and definitely the value is realized after that,
Yeah.
after certain years as such.
Great. I think there is some message coming on chat box, Mr. Hasmukh Shah. He's saying, I know these people has taken mandate of Mulund, Vardhman Nagar and Vinanagar 35 years back. Great, I think. Superb.
Yes, yes.
So, it's a great feeling. And I personally feel that, the purpose of this Broker Ki Paathshala, Vipul bhai, this is so encouraging for youth, Uh, my goal is that one fine day, youth should go and choose this as a profession, as a realtor. And I'm sure the kind of sharing coming from people like you, um, who would have definitely chosen a different path, as you said, full family is there in real estate. After getting so much of education, people thought in those days that you don't require any education to become a broker. But I'm sure in today's time, you cannot be a realtor without education and the kind of technology knowledge, and the world is changing so fast. Uh, so, what kind of process, what kind of advertising you were doing apart from reference? There may be some medium right now. We are going on portal and doing social media and Google AdWords. So, what kind of networking in those days you were doing? Especially, it is very very important for our viewers to know that there is a difference between selling a 50 lakh apartment and 50 crore apartment. So when you are selling South Mumbai is the most costliest real estate in India. So I feel great when I am interacting with you. So you are sharing something which, if somebody wants to enter into a luxury segment and sell, so how a broker should behave, what kind of system they should have, what are the most important thing they should be very very careful while going into luxury segment.
So Vinod bhai, the basics of what I understand is when it comes to value apartment, you need to have a push strategy where you are pushing the product to the people, and you are doing a excellent marketing and sales pushing kind of activity. When it comes to luxury sales and high value apartments, it's more like a pull strategy.
Yes.
So where you need to actually create value for that property, and you need not push the product, but
True.
product should speak for itself, and product should be portrayed in such a way that it generates value for that specific gentry or category kind of a buyer, because it's a very different mindset of a buyer as such. And fortunately, I wanted to understand affordable housing, and we've taken our first affordable housing project some months back, um, in the suburbs where the ticket size is very low. So there I have now understood that mentality there is very different from any other kind of a product size as such.
So that's on the
Well,
highway, I think, near Ghatkopar.
yeah,
I visited your place that,
yeah,
you
yeah,
some get together for brokers. Yeah.
yes. So no, that's the October. There is one more at Devnar we've just taken.
No, Devna. Yeah.
Yeah. So entire marketing strategy for different segments is very different, because psychology of a buyer who is buying a 60-70 lakhs apartment versus a 50-60 crore apartment, there's a huge difference. And you'll have to strategize based on what is needed to that, and the medium and the communication language also changes, the
True.
medium also changes, where you want to advertise for a affordable versus the kind of a luxury happens, as I told you, is more like a value creation, where you're not directly kind of a marketing that stuff to person, but you are making creating awareness for them that there is some kind of opportunity coming up as such. So we have different kind of strategies for different kind of a segments as such. And there is always a thought process going behind every property and in fact every project. So every property, when we have some kind of a mandate coming up for a high value properties, recently we fortunately did a transaction of a very high value ticket size where we were having an exclusive mandate as such. You will not believe we did not advertise anywhere. We did not told anybody. We only purely used the networking.
True.
We purely used the connections which we had. We identified that this is the market, these are the segments, and these are the kind of a target segments which we need to identify. In fact, we pinpointed and made a list of probable buyers.
Correct.
And
Excellent.
then tried connecting those people through the common connects, some other kind of a connects, and somehow got the information through to them. And that's how it worked out quite well. And fortunately, we were able to close the transaction really fast, despite such a high value transactions as such.
So,
So I believe it's all about networking. It's all about reputation, which you are able to create. And it's all about how much people have faith in you. So
true.
a high value product doesn't sell by anybody and everybody.
Very true.
They do, the buyers are really very smart and they are 10 times smarter than you. You don't need to market to them. You just need to create value to them. I remember another case where we had this entire mall as an exclusive mandate in South Mumbai. We had lots of discussion with developers what to do to market this entire mall, because those days malls were a little expensive.
True.
To push that mall and make it a viable model was very difficult, kind of a challenge, especially in South Mumbai where capital values are higher,
True.
but rentals are certain level. Means beyond that level, its affordability goes. So retail was a very difficult part to sell those days. Somehow we worked out a strategy where we suggested the developers to merge the entire shops with all the common areas and make it like a one large retail unit. And fortunately, developers understood that, and we created a value proposition where we offer to the people that this is per square feet your rent. Your kind of valuations are really going down, considering a one large retail format. And fortunately, we got one of the best big brands. In fact, that was Reliance, who was just buying at the start of their retail kind of a career. These were very few transactions which they have bought as a purchase. Most of the transactions they've done on leave and license.
Yes, yes.
In fact, there was a very interesting story where I had made lease versus buy kind of a comparison, and somehow convinced them that you should buy it rather than leasing it, because you are here for at least 9 years kind of a time, and kind of outflow which is there, which is going to be much more staggering despite that you're not owning the property.
True.
So that's how they understood.
So that's great. I think for you, there was a additional advantage of your father being in real estate for so many years and done some excellent exclusive mandated project. So there was already a established brand in your case. But if somebody is new, started few years back in South Mumbai, of course today's networking is different. So I am asking those that I used to listen, because I used to listen that if you really want to meet who's who, then you should be a member of club. Those time club culture was very, very big, So in South Mumbai, we have different club, NSCI is there in Worli. So are you part of any club from where you started networking in those days?
Actually, not really. Although we are members of some clubs, but not necessarily a sizable business comes from there.
Okay.
Basically, it's all friends, family kind of associations. Actually, everywhere I keep my eyes and ears open. And in fact, I've told every employee to keep your eyes and ears open. Opportunities are around you.
True.
You don't need to create, just go. If you are really aware about the situation and the surrounding, every person is capable of giving you business.
Absolutely.
Either he might be selling, buying, leasing, or he might give you a reference who wants to buy, sell, or lease. So So I think that is a very important way of looking at things, and you never know the kind of business generated from where. But as long as you are good to people, if you are thinking positive about people, and they also believe in you, there is always a reference coming across.
Yeah, but I believe, Vipul, by those days, technology was not there, only personal one-to-one networking. For me, going to movie was also a networking opportunity. You go there and you meet so many people, you introduce yourself, and especially weddings. I think weddings and Navratri, those are, certain Ganpati for that matter. People were participating, going there every day and meeting new people. I think those were the networking opportunity for us, especially compared to today's world. Uh, so, uh, what was the company's name when your father was doing business, and was there a change in the name when you joined, or?
So my father used to operate in a personal name called Vipul Shah. Okay. And then when I entered business, we three brothers decided that I think it would be a good opportunity to corporatize this because uh, being a family who is already into business, let's corporatize. So we established Reflex Realty Private Limited,
Excellent.
uh, where we
It
wanted
was
to
in which
actually
year?
in 1996.
1996. And 1996 also the year you got married, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, same year I got married. So I got two results in fact, out there. And interestingly, my wife was, for her, I was the first one she had seen, and we finalized immediately.
Yeah, but anybody would finalize after seeing you. First meeting was
Kind of you.
great. So you are celebrating, I think, Silver Jubilee. This year is a Silver Jubilee year for
Yeah,
both
this
the
year is going to
company
be
and
silver. In fact, there are two big occasions this year. Once I
yeah.
just finished my 50th birthday
Wow,
on
excellent.
8th of January,
Congratulations.
almost a month back. And fortunately, my family is so loving and caring. My wife actually organized a celebration called 50 Days to 50 Years.
Wow, amazing.
So,
Congratulations. Aroi, thank you very much.
there was a surprise 50 days before starting of 50 years. Every day there was a surprise, and every day was dedicated to some of the family members, friends, family, colleagues. All kind of people used to give me different surprises as such. So really thankful to my wife, Arohi, and my family for making this so special. And in fact,
Excellent.
this has been a talk of the surrounding friends, family, and then there are lots of people who are even thinking of starting something like this.
So I think being realtor is amazing thing. I'm sure people who are all our viewers and those people who will watch this episode later, I think they will get attracted towards this profession. Real estate is not about just showing some property and organizing meeting with two people.
Not at all.
It's
In
also
fact,
about celebrating life.
just to concur with Vinod Bhai, I think real estate is one of the best field you can ever be in.
Yes,
This is the only field where you are actually meeting the different people from different walks of life, professions, businesses, international players, and at the same time you're learning so many things from them. It's not just the business, it's not just buying, selling, and leasing, but everybody who is successful is buying the property or selling or leasing property, and then you're learning different traits from every person. So I always make it a point to make even a meeting a learning kind of experience, because every person is so rich with experience. You learn in every meeting, so there can't be a profession where you're learning at the same time you're getting paid for it, right?
absolutely.
So it's a very interesting profession, and I would really encourage all youngsters to look it as a great profession to be in. Just for your information, real estate is like 83% of person's wealth, average Indian wealth. Means that's what the statistics says, that 83% of your wealth is into real estate.
True.
And being such an interesting and important asset class is being undermined. Actually speaking, if you really want, this could have been a industry status many years back.
True.
uh, uh, and when it comes to only, I was hearing Vinod Bhai earlier that important decision in your life.
Yes.
One is getting married, one is getting kind
Using career.
of and one is buying the real estate. So it's like a very important decision.
So, Vipul bhai, the moment you enter the real estate and technology also started coming into real estate very fast. So, two questions. What is your team right now in your company? What are the core values of your company? And how important do you think in real estate the technology is playing a role in today's time?
I think real estate scenario has completely changed. There is a huge transformation in way we buy, sell, lease real estate now. Lots of use of technology, lots of use of networking in a different way, social media and emailers, WhatsApp, SMS. and all kind of marketings are happening place as such. But I think the core value remains the same. So despite being change in technology, change in approach and all that stuff, the core value remains the same. I think it's most important quality what we try to imbibe is passion to serve. Passion to serve the people. I think that's the most important values our organization has got. I think we always tell people not to be after money, be after serving. If you really serve well, money will definitely come in. And if you love people, if you love your job, I think your 50% job is done.
Excellent.
Right? You should be interested in what you are doing. When I take interviews with people, I always ask that, are you really interested in this kind of activity? It's not the job, but if this you should be passionate enough to join this industry and work towards this. So that passion and interest actually takes care of that 50% of the requirement of the job itself as such. And when I meet youngsters nowadays, I'm really proud of India to producing hugely talented youngsters now. They are much more mature, they are much more focused, and they are much more smarter than the earlier generation. So I'm really learning from them, younger generations, not just giving how to lead the business, but I think also learning from them about certain traits which they bear.
Excellent. Very true. So over the years, you not only took care of your company, but also you are somebody who are always there to give. You know, you have been a mentor to someone. You have been a great leader. So you thought of being a part of South Mumbai Metro Real Estate Agent Association. Share something about that, and later on you were part of NAR India, and how important it was, and what kind of transformation those two organizations have brought in your life and your professional and personal growth.
Vinod, I must genuinely thank the entire association, the Smart Association, the South Metro City Association of Realtors, um, for giving me that opportunity to be part of them, and then also being part of the committee, which I was there. In fact, I was never part of very active committee earlier but once I was being actually selected as a part of the committee, I was directly being raised to a vice president level
Yes.
from my first election itself, first appointment as such. And thank you for the entire association for believing in me and giving me that responsibility. Uh, we tried our best to actually take the association to the next level, very honestly and very diligently. We planned certain activities. I was also heading the builders committee that time, and first thing we did was we establishing better relationship with the builders rather than just asking kind of a donation from them,
Yes.
right? So we stopped going for to developers with any donation. Means we never stopped asking any donation to the developers. We just went there to understand what their offerings were, what the opportunities they can create for the fraternity, how they can how we can work together, what are the help they can give to the association and their members. Those are the kind of things which we try to create the opportunity, and we had certain events. And one of the most interesting events, if you all could recollect, is we had a smart convention
Yeah.
2015.
2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yes. I
2015.
was there. Yes. Yes.
And it was a humongous project. I was fortunate enough to um, be appointed as a convention chair for that convention, and this was very kind of a, you can say, ambitious kind of a plan. An ambitious kind of a venue which we had selected was a dome, where we had kind of planned for 1,000+ delegates kind of a thing, and huge venue cost. And then there was a 1 day of a convention and followed by 3 days of a property expo.
Exhibition, yeah. So that was
Property
the first
expo,
time some association have thought of,
yeah, property expo organized by a realtor body. So the idea was that basically people were really asking us questions. Are you mad or something, where you are offering your developer's property to a customer without getting a brokerage,
True.
right? So, but I think the thinking was in a very different way, where we want to portray ourselves that realtor is a fraternity which is there for the buying, for the customers,
Yes.
there for the customers, in helping customers to choose the right product, and whatever help needed, we should create that kind of a framework, bonding and a trust with both the sides. So developers really were amazed that this is a realtor body organizing a realtor kind of a exhibition. And you will not believe that the convention which happened on the first day, I still remember somebody as senior as Mr. Raja told that we have never organized this kind of convention even for a developer fraternity.
True.
You have done for a realtor fraternity. This is amazing kind of thing. So the idea of being a convention chair, the idea was basically to get the best and the most precious resources. What we thought was a time of people.
True.
Time people coming in was the most precious resource we had, and we had to meticulously plan every minute in such a way that quality speakers, quality contents were there, and then the flow of the entire convention was fortunately turned out really very well with one of few of the very well-known speeches and well-known
Yes.
speakers and panel discussions. Fortunately, we had a great partner. NRF was also partnering with us for the content part of it, and I must congratulate my entire team who really helped me and working day and night. We actually worked for 4 months for this
Yeah,
project.
it was no less than a wedding in the family.
Yeah,
It was more than that, I would say.
yeah.
And the kind of bonding you guys got together for 4 months, I think these are the moment which changing you as a human being and build a amazing lifelong relationship with people. So and then you didn't stop there. Then you went to NIR India. I think tell us something about NIR India.
Again, thanks to the association, which thought that I was the appropriate person to represent the association to the national level as such. And we used to go to the governing body meets. And I really had a fantastic experience being in the governing body. NAR India is one of the most premium and one of the best ever association I have ever come across. I have learned and known few of the best friends who have been very active in NAR India, and I think this body has changed the entire real estate scenario in India.
True.
Whereby it's not only the networking part, friendship and bonding part, but I think the kind of business which has brought in, the kind of learning which has brought in, I think lots of education has taken place, and most of all, the image of realtor is changing because of bodies like this. I think hats off to NAR India for creating that brand realtor across India, and then coming out with one voice. We have, I think, 47, 48 city associations pan India with members and employees running into 30,000 plus kind of a numbers, which is a kind of a great achievement.
And then I think your contribution, I was also part of GB. We worked together for quite a few time, and I still remember the kind of relationship you established as a membership head first during the West Zone when I was a West Zone head, and then later being a West Zone head. Uh, I still remember when our tenure was completed as a governing body member and you're as a West Zone head. In the last meeting, you just share few thoughts and acknowledge and thank each past president of each city association in West Zone. And I think you were the only team member of that year who got the standing ovation from each and every past president of that West Zone. And they really loved the way you took care of them, the way you led the entire West Zone. So I think it is, I always believe that it is not only what you're doing for yourself in your business, but your contribution to the NIR India as a West Zone head and all the GB member wherever you were there, I think all the city associations still remember that. And this is like a lifelong bonding and relationship you have created and implanted in them, in their heart and mind, that will always be there. So it's a great feeling for me also when
And
I'm chatting.
I'm really fortunate enough for such a huge love and respect which I got across India. I was not believing that this is the kind of respect and love you get out of people. They are so loving and so good people across India, and I feel that people should actually, there should be a trip of every member to
Yes,
compulsorily go to other state for some time. If
true.
that is established as a membership kind of a criteria, I think NAR India will go places where you understand the other people culture, other people's way of doing business, and you help something, and you also get in turn something.
True, true. So my question would be, Vipul as a managing partner of Reflex Realty, doing business, have been into industry, your father started, blah blah blah. That's fine. But what kind of transformation and learning and you got after joining Smart and NAR India? And what is your advice to all the brokers out there in the industry, those who are not part of any of the city? Do you think this is the biggest networking platform for real estate
Yeah,
broker?
undoubtedly, this is the biggest ever networking platform of India for real estate as such. Probably the networking and the places which we have been ever been as like there has been a lots of learning. That I think the biggest learning is um, how to understand every city, every person, and then there are typical kind of a problems and problem solving happening within the city as such.
True.
And there are certain kind of a cycles, like you have a growth pattern, like Bombay is already past certain growth pattern, and then other city, tier 2, tier 3 cities here. You exactly know what's going to happen in the future growth kind of a pattern. So you are able to help them out that these are the future things which is going to come in your city where it has already come in Mumbai. So that's how people appreciate that, and that's how. But I think the foundation of servicing, we have lots of learning from them. How they serve customer, how they behave with people, how they interact. There are lots of learning from there right now. I think I've not seen people in Mumbai having that kind of high respect for people coming from outside as compared to we going out there.
Very true. True.
Right?
And so currently, what kind of strength your organization is having? I mean, how many
So,
people are working, and what kind of verticals your company is dealing into?
So we broadly have two divisions, which is one is a project sales division and one is the retail resale kind of South Mumbai division. Project sales division takes care of the exclusive mandates and marketing of projects all across Mumbai. And the South Mumbai team takes care of the entire South Mumbai primary, secondary, as well as the market. We have started one more dedicated division. It was earlier also into commercial, but you now started a dedicated real estate investment advisory division where we are purely actually advising people on real estate investment opportunities. Fortunately, the next generation, my son, who
Yeah, I was about to ask you for that. Hold on for that. You share your thoughts. Then
so that's another division we've just initiated as a dedicated division that always used to be kind of a servicing earlier. But then now we think that this is the forte which we should actually try and work on. And there is a great opportunity for everybody to learn all different aspects of real estate as such. So this is how it has been broadly being divided. Primary market projects. Second is the South Mumbai primary and secondary as well. And third is the investment, which is across Mumbai. And not in across Mumbai, it's across cities also.
great. And what kind of technology you are using now? I mean, this
So
this
we
is
are
always a standard question from all the brokers. They want to know how successful brokers are using the technology.
so we have
How
actually
much to invest? How much to invest in technology? So
I
what kind
think
of verticals? Yeah.
technology is very important part, but then you should also understand you should adopt a technology which is practical, which is understandable by people. It should not be very very high end product where you're not able to the employee is not able to understand what is it is doing.
True.
Ultimately, I think you should employ technology based on what you want out of that technology.
Yes.
You should start with the end rather than starting with start. So
Excellent.
start with the end in the sense that what is the report with what you not need or what is the kind of output you need, and then employ the technology which can be best giving that kind of resource. May it be CRM product, may it be kind of a automated marketing solutions, emailers, WhatsApp, SMS, whatever kind of solutions you have. You should be very clear what is the objective you want to get out of this, and then adopt a technology. Not necessarily every technology is expensive technology.
And this
There
is
are kind of very innovative solutions, innovative technology, as simple as like Google Sheet. In some of the kind of a business we use using as simple as Google Sheet, which has worked out really well for us. So depending on the kind of requirement and reporting needed and the level of people working at that level,
true.
I think the technology changes as such.
Great. As everyone of us can see that how passionate you are about real estate, and as you got inspired from your father, your son, so third generation entering into real estate. So tell our viewers about your son and what is he doing and what are his plan. And if I think he's still not connected, we'll check once he connected. We will take him on also.
Okay. So basically, this is very interesting story where my son actually after giving his 12th science, he actually appeared for IITs and BITS Pilani kind of entrance exams.
Yeah.
He was fortunate enough to get among the top rankers also. So he was out of 14 lakhs entry, he was like ranked around 8,000 as such,
Excellent.
which was like quite a good achievement. And he had very clear vision of going either in BITS Pilani or IIT. It was very clear. Fortunately, he got into IIT Hyderabad as well as he got IIT. Sorry, he did not go to. He got into BITS Pilani Hyderabad, and he also got into BITS Pilani Dubai. And when he wanted to choose the career, he also we just had brainstorming being done, and he was of an opinion that if he is entering a kind of a real estate kind of a background kind of a thing, that would be a good start for him. In case something else doesn't work out, at least the real estate thing, education will definitely work out as such. So he actually aspired to be a civil engineer, and fortunately, he's just graduated as civil engineering last few months back itself from BITS Pilani, Dubai. And in fact, he's not only done one degree; he's done dual degree with civil engineering. He's done finance also.
Wow.
He got interested into finance after joining the college itself, and he was very good at maths because as it is IIT entrance exam, you have to be good at maths. He was very good at maths, and that's the reason he was attracted towards finance. And fortunately, that those colleges offering dual degree, he opted for one, and then he topped all the 4 years of the college.
Excellent. Yeah.
And, he was considered, and he was the founding president of Civil Engineering Society there. He was leading so many clubs there, and he really had a gala time in the college, and he still misses his college and hostel days as such. But because of the COVID, he was supposed to be in Dubai, extending there because he had initiated a startup there, which was serving big companies like Emirates Airlines, Government of Dubai, those kind of companies there. Uh, Fortunately, they exited just before the lockdown in that company, and they were supposed to start some new startup there. But because of this lockdown happening, he had to rush back to India before that startup. And then they decided that as it is, we were supposed to start a startup. Why not do a startup related to India?
Wow.
And then out of selecting multiple kind of options for startup, he was convinced that might as well start a startup in a real estate business itself, where we have got some domain knowledge, where some help can be there from the fraternity because of the connectivity which we had. And he started his first, probably a startup called propreturns.com.
Propreturns.com. So,
Propreturns.com.
your son name is
Kanish Shah.
Kanish Shah. Congratulations for the wonderful startup. I think I am waiting for him. Yet he has not yet connected. Let me resend him the again. Can you just send him the message, Vipul bhai? If he can connect, it would be great, you know. So our audience will be very happy to have some, thoughts from the millennials, I would say.
Just give me a minute. I'll ensure that he joins.
Yeah. Please. We'll hold for that. No problem.
Yeah, he's just joining in 2 minutes time.
No problem. That would be great, actually. That would be great.
So what I was just saying, probably he will explain more about what the startup is all about,
Yes, yes.
and I feel that it's a great opportunity for youngsters also to enter into real estate as such. There's a great specialization, as Vinod Bhai rightly stated at the start, that specialization and super specialization has also started in this business. See, I was always interested in kind of a fusion of real estate with finance. Being done my management with finance, I always, and family background being real estate, I was always passionate about doing something related to real estate and finance as such. And this has somehow created my dreams come true by this startup, which I always had a dream for, but I did not had the technology advantage. I did not have that kind of a process advantage which I needed. But I think there is a great opportunity coming up in real estate um, kind of verticals where, as you all know, that now REITs are doing fantastically well.
Yeah, there was last week. There was a public issue of the REITs. I think Brookfield also came out with a public issue. So I think technology and knowledge, these two things are going to be number one in terms of the real estate growth. The entire canvas of real estate is going to change maybe another 5 years down the line.
No, it's already changing. Actually, it's changing faster than what you
Yes,
think.
yes, absolutely. So
There are new products coming in the market. There are new ways of doing business. There are new institutions which is entering. There are new corporates entering into real estate in a different field. Um, there are certain ideas which I am actually brainstorming with somebody else, and I just heard a startup which is actually doing something related to barter of real estate.
yeah, that I think NRO was going to start that butter, if I'm not
So there
mistaken. I
is a
heard.
startup which will actually do when there is a purchaser who wants to purchase a
Yeah,
property,
retail. So they will buy.
he
It's like a
purchases
old
his
car
new
buying.
property, and then his old property is being bought across, or is given a kind of a guarantee.
So like
Kind of
it
a,
is like that automobile. आप
yeah,
जूनी कार देके जाओ और नई कार लेके जाओ.
yeah, yeah.
So there are a lot of new things coming in. And before Kenny's join us, Vipul bhai just wanted to also touch upon uh, how was the COVID time. Share something about your journey during the COVID as an individual, as a profession, and what kind of changes you are now witnessing and forecasting in real estate post COVID.
So I think COVID, although people blame it, but I think it's a blessing in disguise for specifically for our family and for us. Um Never imagined such a good family time together. Never imagined my son would have been staying with me for such a long time together. And I think it was the most memorable family time we ever had.
Excellent.
Something in a personal front. There used to be a dedicated team being worked out within the family. That a father and a brother's daughter, father and a son, father, brother and brother, and we used to actually not only enjoy it, but we used to cook. And there used to be a menu being rolled out in the
Wow.
family that this is the today's evening dinner.
क्या बात है.
We not only enjoyed making it, we
Excellent.
also made it sure that it is exciting, and the presentation was also being given. So every day there was some kind of a daddy. Somebody took the responsibility of doing it, and there was a great family time. We had a great time uh, watching movies, Netflix, and all the stuff. Means all the activities you just dream of can just be on only because of the COVID. Thanks to COVID, that we were able to enjoy it. And professionally, definitely there is a challenge in that operation, but I think we made it sure that most of the people are there with us, are staying with us, and whatever help could have been done, we tried our best to help them out too.
Great. So here comes the rock star, the millennials. Hi Kenish, this is Vinod Thakkar. ब्रोकर की पाठशाला में आपका तहे दिल से स्वागत है.
Thank
And
you.
I'm extremely very happy to welcome, on behalf of all the viewers, welcome to this wonderful platform.
Happy.
I'm sure people like you will carry on further, and make a difference for our entire fraternity. So tell us something about you, Kenish. What do you do and what are your plans?
Correct. So, first of all, thank you for having me. I actually have graduated in civil engineering and finance dual degree from BITS Pilani in Dubai. Uh, right. And then I worked for some time for Emirates NBD REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust,
Yes.
which is one of the biggest REIT in UAE. Right. And then I started a startup in Dubai, which is a technology consulting company where our clients were Emirates Airlines and many other basically government entities. So I exited that startup, came back to India. I was always a startup guy, so I started a company called Prop Returns.
Yes.
Now, Prop Returns is a venture into the real estate investment space. And obviously, because of my family were into real estate, we got a very good backing to kickstart the company, Prop Returns. Uh, to give you a brief about Prop Returns, it's in fact India's first dedicated property investment platform where you can invest in pre-leased commercial assets all over India with complete transparency. So every property on the platform which you see pre-leased is there's complete detailed financial analysis for every property, which makes the procedure very simple for an investor, right? So an investor can just go on the platform, filter according to what he requires, right? Does he require a pre-leased warehouse, a pre-leased office space, or a pre-leased retail, right? Which city, how much yield he requires, 8 to 12% he can filter. He'll get around a few options to shortlist, and then he can inquire on the property, see if he takes a leverage, how much return does he get? If he doesn't take, what is the standard return, IRR, cash multiple? So everything about the property from a financial as well as a qualitative aspect, right? So once he does that, once he inquires, then we take the process forward and we close deals. So that's how we function right now, Prop Returns. And we actually have around over 150 to 160 grade A investment properties all over India, right? Pre-leased properties. So, and we've actually worked with, we have partnered up with Reflex Realty for the brokerage partner, right? We also have Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas as a legal partner.
Yeah.
And we work with a lot of wealth management companies to basically facilitate other investors to use the platform. So we want to create an India-wide distribution network. And if you want to invest in property, you have to go through Prop Returns. That is the agenda.
Excellent. So, but tell our viewers, how can other brokers from other part of India
Correct.
can
So,
be part of your portal? Is it
correct.
a portal?
Sorry?
Is it a portal?
Yes. It's an online platform.
Excellent.
It's an online platform. So what you can do is if you have any pre-leased commercial asset belonging to an investor of your investor who you're in touch with as a broker or any developer, basically any pre-leased asset, you can come on the platform, you can list that property, right? So currently we've not created a dashboard of any sort where you can list, so you can just inquire. We'll get the property information from you and we'll list it on your behalf, right? So if anyone inquires on the property, we will tell you this particular investor has inquired, and then you can facilitate the entire, the entire process ahead of that. So that is how we operate.
So suppose if I as a broker want to share my properties on your platform, so what kind of charges and what kind of process is there?
So the best part right now is we've kept listing completely free, right? So just to basically get that traction in, and because it's free, we've got incredible traction till now. Great supply in the market, which is the most important, which any investor requires.
Absolutely.
If you don't get variety, you would rather go to a REIT, right? There's no variety there. So so that is what we do. There are no listing charges. It's just simple brokerage side by side or whatever mutually decided basis. So completely easy to list. You can just come, we list it on your behalf. You just share us basic details, and our website, our algorithms work in such a way. You give us basic details and we'll generate complete dynamic financial analysis for your property.
Excellent.
Right? So complete information. If you go on the platform right now, you'll see how well laid out all the financial metrics are. Very easy to understand for an investor coming tomorrow to invest in any of these properties. So they can take decisions in just seconds, right?
Can you again announce the name of your company so that our viewer can just immediately go and log down?
Correct. So it's prop returns, which is basically property returns investments. So prop returns, just very simple and very straightforward.
Excellent. So, your views, Kanish, moving forward, people like me and your dad, how should we update ourselves with the technology? What kind of future you can foresee, and what kind of challenging people like us will face in another 2-3 years down the line? So, how technology is going to take over the business of real estate broker?
Correct. So from a technology standpoint, uh, I think most of the entire process will become very technology dependent, not on the closure stage, but the initial lead generation stage is what I'm saying. Closure, it's very difficult to make it technology dependent because it's based on trust, right? And it's based on connections, relationship. So I don't think that is where technology can come in, but technology can come in to expedite the process till closure, right? So basically getting that property online, directly inquiring, because right now if I advertise my property to my network without any online, I'll just get maybe a few people who are interested, but I don't know someone sitting in Jaipur will be interested in investing in pre-leased asset in Bombay.
Very
So
true.
that is where technology can come in to get that, that, what do you call, like economies of scale, right? You can reach many people. So that's where technology can come in. Once a person is interested, then I think it needs to go through a little bit of traditional route, right? Because even if you facilitate payment through any online service or online platform, people won't pay unless they trust who's on the other side, or who's the buyer, who's the seller, who's the broker, everything, right? So that needs to go through a little bit traditional manner, but the initial process can be made really fast. Right now, the initial process also is a bit, tedious, because everything is a little bit on call, right? Everything, supply demand matching happens on call, which
True.
can be completely, uh, I mean, supply demand matching is something which can be done online, and then conversion can be, carried forward through traditional means.
So I think, will your portal serve as a MLS? In US,
Yes.
there is
So
MLS, correct?
currently, correct. So currently, we've not kept our portal as a listing platform in sense. It's just a investment platform. So you can basically filter through grade A assets, and you can just directly invest, and we facilitate the transactions ourselves. So it's not a listing platform in that sense. Obviously, the vision, what we plan to do ahead is make it get good quality listings, because what happens sometimes is a lot of listing platforms in India, information is incomplete, right? There is no verified information. There is no nowadays, investors, if you're investing 5-10 crores in an asset, you would require complete information. And sometimes what happens, either pictures are not there, or either some small minute details are missing, location is wrong, right? So all this happens in 99 acres magic bricks, which is where they focus on the quantity of listings and not the quality of listings. We don't want to do that. We want to focus on the quality. So have 200 properties, but have the best, right? Which we can close fast, instead of magic bricks where, millions of properties, but
True.
closure may nothing will happen.
So,
So that.
what attracted you to join real estate?
Uh, so one of the reasons actually is, I was actually very interested into finance, to be honest. Initially, I was very into finance, equity markets, right? But then slowly, towards the end of my engineering, civil engineering, uh, I realized the potential in the real estate investment space, because of my time at Real Estate Investment Trust. I realized that there are a lot of assets just sitting in Bombay, not in Bombay, and I would say entire India, which give fixed returns, right? And people are not investing their money because they don't have that visibility that there is an asset sitting in Bombay and I'm a Kolkata investor. So that is what got me interested. The whole purpose was to fill that gap, right? So that is why I was interested. So I wanted a mix of real estate and finance. I'm not completely only into real estate. I wanted a mix of both. So that's basically what happened. Engineering and finance together, civil engineering.
Very nice. So one more question to you. Tell me what kind of technology tool a broker should utilize now to attract the customers and lead generation. Which are the most important tools according to you brokers
So
should
one
utilize?
of the most important is actually a lot of time of any broker goes into understanding the client's requirements, right? From buyer, seller, both perspectives. So there is one thing which we are also trying to develop, right? Actually, we already developed is a chatbot, right? So
Yes.
an AI chatbot for brokers. So what brokers should do is anytime a client inquires, right? Everything what the client requires from, let's say for example, a link goes to a client saying on this link you can completely inquire what your requirements are. You can talk to an artificial intelligence chatbot, so a robot on the other side. So what
So
are you requiring? 1 2 3 bhk, where, what budget, how much square feet. So basically everything should be automated. I shouldn't call the client tomorrow and saying what do you require,
true.
etc etc. So once his requirements come in, like 1 bhk, this much square feet, this much everything, automatically a property should go to him. So we shouldn't be involved. It should be so fast that as the demand comes in, the supply should go shoot towards it. So that is what we're trying to do, and this is the future of real estate, right? Where supply demand matching, you're not involved at every, because most of a broker's time, even my dad's time, goes into calls, right? So
But you know
so
what
that
happens, Kenish, you know what happens when I'm interacting with customer and customer tell me where, and then I ask him, where do you want a flat? And he said, I want in Bandra. Then I ask him, where do you stay right now? So that doesn't happen in AI. So then he said, I stay in Pune. So then I say, okay, we have office in Pune. Would you like to sell something? They'll say, okay, we want to sell our property in Pune also. So those are the extended question which, human to human happens, and
100%.
it happens automatically. There is no planned conversation. So there are always something different, but I appreciate your thought.
Human mind is the biggest AI actually automatically. It's like
So one more question, Kenish.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something about your dad. What do you like the best in your dad as an entrepreneur?
Uh, First of all, he's really hardworking, right? Very, very hardworking, very job focused. It's not a job; it's an entrepreneur, but very work focused.
Yeah, yeah, true.
And other thing is, my dad loves networking, which is like the best skill you can have as a realtor, right?
Absolutely.
So I think these two are the most points which I like, that first, and
Great. I think you got it right on the dot. Um, so now I want to have few very one-liner questions, Vipul bhai, to both of you, Kenish and you both. So first to Vipul bhai. So what does success means to you? One-liner.
to create a win-win situation,
Wow. And what does money means to you?
to make somebody happy.
Wow. As we do this session every Friday, I told that every Friday there is a Bollywood movie coming in. So every Friday we are unveiling the story of a Bollywood realtor, blockbuster realtor. So which is your favorite Bollywood movie, Vipul bhai?
Sholay.
Sholay. And actor?
Actor Amitabh Bachchan for sure,
Uh,
and actress Preeti Zinta.
Acha, wow. So you see, these are the answers which unveil your personality. So what do you think a leader should have? What kind of quality a leader should have?
Leaders should create more leaders.
Excellent. Who is your favorite leader from any spheres of the world?
Definitely, our Prime Minister is one of the great leaders.
Excellent. And which is your favorite book?
There's a recent book which I've been reading called Mastery.
Which?
Mastery, which
Mastery.
is Mastery.
By? Which author?
No, it's like actually it's a collection of lots of life incidents of successful people from all different walks of life, and it actually explains you what is mastery all about. It doesn't. It's all normal people who are mastering certain field. But it's
Great.
not like an extra kind of a quality of people which has come in, but it's purely because of the certain consistent, focused approach towards that problem solving and how that problem is being solved in conscious and unconscious mind.
Excellent.
So most of the innovations and most of the new things are being developed during the unconsciousness state of mind.
Very good.
It talks about Albert Einstein. It talks about all successful leaders and inventors as such.
Excellent, sir. Viewers, those of you, if you have any question, please put it on the chat box. By the time I finish this questionnaire, you are a avid traveler, I think, nationally and internationally. So, which is the best place in your life for traveling?
So as of now, I've traveled to multiple countries of the world, but one of my favorites is Iceland.
Iceland. Wow.
So I would suggest if anybody is able to go to Iceland, you would remember me.
So, one thing you like the most as a realtor about this profession, what is the best thing about this
I
profession?
think you are actually changing life. You are actually making impact in the life of people and being a part of contributing to them for a most important decision of your life.
Excellent.
Roti kapda or makan aap de rahe hai, so it's like nothing more blessing. It's not only the commercial side, but I think it's socially also. You are doing a great social activity. You're doing a great social kind of a project. In fact, every project is like a social project in that sense. So if you think transaction as a transaction, you will work in a different way. But if you think as a transaction as a socially helping somebody to achieve something, I think you will lead the right way of serving the customers in a better way.
Wonderful thought. Wonderful thought. And finally, two things. Your message to the millennials, next generation who is eager to join real estate, and what do you think about the future of real estate business in India?
So I think millennials are already actually fortunate enough to get great education, great surrounding, great values from the family as such. And I think they should actually put in 110% of their effort and live their dream. They should not go into something which they don't like. They should always be open to something where they really are passionate about. I have always been telling Kanish one very simple line. You select your own kind of a business or profession or kind of a things what you want to do, but you have to be the best in that business or you have to do best in that field as such. So selection is on him, but my pressure is that you have to be best in that whatever field you select. So I think they have a focus and specialized approach. Definitely it will bring them a great career as such.
Excellent. Now we are turning to young lad. Kanish, what does success mean to you?
Impact.
Impact.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Impactful.
Excellent. And what about money?
Money is, for me, happiness. If you're happy, you have money. Or it's if you're money, you're happy. Either way.
So who is you may be watching more Hollywood. So Hollywood, Bollywood, who is your favorite actor?
In fact, I watch Bollywood a lot.
Yeah.
So actor, I would say Hrithik Roshan. He's one of the best actors.
Excellent. And which movie?
Not of Hrithik Roshan. My favorite movie is Three Idiots because it's about engineering life. So
there you get this passion. Very good. And actress?
I don't have any favorite actress.
Come on, yaar. Don't worry. Your mom and dad is there. That's fine. You can always share.
Maybe no, that's fine. That's I don't know. Maybe Deepika Padukone. She's a good actress.
Very good. And leader?
Mukesh Ambani.
Wow. Any book? Are you a good reader?
Oh, a lot. I read a lot of books. Currently, I'm reading a book called Blitzscaling, which is a book written by Reid Hoffman, who's founder of LinkedIn. So he's written the book on how do you scale a startup in times of uncertainty.
Excellent. Can you repeat the name of the book?
Blitzscaling. So Blitzscaling. Blitzscaling.
Great. Fantastic. And what is your favorite traveling destination?
I would say same Iceland. Iceland is one of the best places I've ever been. Yeah, and Ladakh, both of them.
So your message to our generation, what we should do to survive and sustain in the business of real estate broking?
You should, the only thing you should do is be a mentor to us. That's it. There's nothing else. You don't need to change. What we millennials need to learn from the elder generation is how to develop relationships with people, right? How to develop that trust, because your generation is much better than us. We've just been in the gig economy, right? Like mobile phone. So you don't develop trust on a mobile phone, right?
Excellent.
So,
Yeah. I must compliment for your.
yeah, that's the only thing. There is nothing else you should change about.
Amazing. I think it's very important that we collaborate with each other, handle with each other, and exchange the ideas and sharing the thoughts.
Correct.
And
And basically, just to put it in one word, we need to learn dhanda. That's it.
ah,
Our generation needs to learn dhanda, which we don't know yet, but we will.
so that's in the blood.
Dhanda you'll learn with Jugaad.
Yeah, you got it. Amazing. I think Vipul bhai, we couldn't understand that we spent almost 1 hour 45 minutes, sharing, and still I believe that there is still so much to interact and share. But thank you very much, both of you, especially Kennis, for being there in such a short notice and sharing your valuable thoughts. I'm sure all the viewers who are live and later on the Facebook and technology is such a beautiful thing that this is going to be there on universe throughout the life. So whenever anybody want to watch, I think they can take a benefit out of it.
Vinod bhai, let me just share one thing. This has happened because of the blessings of my parents and the God, because Kanish was never destined to be in India. Sure. And to be in India, to be into real estate field, and to do a startup, which I always had dream of, something in combination of real estate and finance. And the best part in the time was actually brainstorming about the startup. I think I've learned a lot about the technology. I've learned a lot from him, and the next generation is so smarter, so faster, and so efficient. He doesn't have any time schedule, fixed time hours kind of a thing. Frankly speaking, he has his calls at 11:30, 12 o'clock in the night too. So there is no specific, okay, this is the only time I work or don't work. So I think that's how the great passion which they are actually carrying across, and there's lots of learning from them.
So I'm just getting a thought while looking at Kanish and listening to him. I'm planning one full session only to invite next generation youngster and let them be on this show and come out with some amazing idea which can be a great helpful and inspiration to the entire real estate fraternity. So that would be a great thing. So maybe next season 3 is going to have more youthful faces and youthful ideas, which will definitely be a great learning for all of us.
Definitely.
So on behalf of Broker Ki Paathshala team and all the viewers across the country, thank you very much, both of you, for your time and sharing your insight about your profession. On behalf of Broker Ki Paathshala, please accept this small certificate of appreciation as we are online. So instead of memento, we are presenting this certificate to all our speakers in season 1st and season 2nd. And Vipul, you being a Rotarian, you know that how does it feel, So please accept this Broker Ki Paathshala, an initiative of by Square Feet Foundation. Certificate of appreciation to express our gratitude to Mr. Vipul Shah, and I would say at Kanish, founding partner Reflex Realty LLP Mumbai, for his gracious presence and significant contribution in making Broker Ki Paathshala a great success. We are pleased to sponsor 100 meals under Annapurna project by Rotary Club of Mumbai Daisar, which will provide food for the underprivileged. Today on 5th February, signed by yours truly, Chairman, Square Feet Foundation.
Fantastic. I think this is the best ever kind of a certificate of appreciation I would have got actually. Doing such a great project, and as you're not know that this year I'm the assistant governor, and yes, you have helped us district to do some more projects.
Yes. Our district governor has a challenge of 1 million meals, so this is part of that program. And friends, let me announce next Friday blockbuster. It is coming from Calcutta. a dear friend, Mr. Mahesh Somani, Managing Director of Lians from Calcutta, and has been a great contributor to NIR India, especially during the RERA. He is an authority on RERA. He has widely traveled and addressed most of the city association across NIR India. It would be great opportunity for all of us. A very young and dynamic leader from Calcutta will be with us. So please don't forget to tune in next Friday. One more blockbuster with Broker Ki Paathshala. Till then, please take care of yourself. Once again, thank you very much, Vipul and Kenish. It was wonderful.
Very much, Vinod Bhai, and I think it's a great initiative you have taken. You actually making the industry shake by and getting to know people in a very different perspective, and there is lots of learning in life from the speaker as well as from the audience as well as such. So thank you very much for the initiative. And for audience information, Vinod Bhai has been our rock star, and he's been very active not only in real estate but he's very active in Rotary too, and he's done some of the fantastic work in Rotary too. Besides being in NIR India and area and other kind of association, I still remember his fantastic time when he used to travel, and he's still traveling across India and motivating and organizing and shaping up a tier 2 and tier 3 cities kind of a realtor. I think it's a great service to the entire industry, and he deserves a round of applause for that too.
Thank you, Vipul Bhai, for those wonderful words. And Kenish, please take care. Wish you all the best, and looking forward to your generation to be, part of NIR India and take this entire fraternity to a next level. Wish you all the best, and thank you very much for all your sharing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.